A person finds that if he invests his money in 15% stock at 225, his income will be 270 greater than if he invests in 22% stock at 375. Find the sum invested. So the comparison is given here that if he invests in one stock, he will get some 270 rupees greater than if he invests in the second stock. So what amount is invested? So let us take investment 1 here and let us assume it to be that he invests rupees X. The market value of one share is given as 225 and dividend is given as 15%. The face value we will assume it as 100. So the total number of shares is equal to X divided by 225 because he is purchasing one share at rupees 225. So the total number of shares is X divided by 225 and the dividend is 15%. So 15 into 15% on rupees 100. So it is 15 rupees. 15 into the number of shares. So 15 into X upon 225. So after cancellation 15 15s are 225. So you will get X upon 15. So let us call this as equation 1. Now in the second case, let us take that investment as X again. The market value is 375 of one share and dividend is 22%. The face value we have to again assume it as to be 100. The total number of shares will be X divided by 375 because the market price of one value is 375. So the dividend we have to calculate on the face value. So it is rupees 22 and the total dividend will be rupees 22 into number of shares. So 22 into X upon 375. So it is 22X upon 375. Let us call this as equation 2. So here it is given that if he invests in this stock, his income will be 270 greater than if he invests in this stock. So if he invests in the first stock, his income, that is the dividend, is 270 greater than this. So minus 270 will be this. So this is the first income, minus 270 will be the second income. So this is the relation they have given, that if he invests in the first stock, he will get 270 rupees greater than the second investment. So it is X upon 15 minus 270 is equal to 22X upon 375. Now let us solve this. You will get X is equal to rupees 33,750. So the sum invested is rupees 33,750. Subhash purchased shares worth rupees 18,900 when the market price was 94.5. Out of those shares, he sold shares of face value rupees 12,600 when market rate was 104 and sold remaining shares at 98. He had to pay 1.5% brokerage each time. What was his gain or loss in total? So Subhash invested rupees 18,900 when the market price was 94.5. So market value of each share is 94.1. So the total number of shares is equal to 18,900 divided by market price of one share. So you will get 200. So total number of shares is 200. He has to pay the brokerage of 1.5% each time. So 1.5% of, suppose if we take the face value of one share as 100, then 1.5% will be 1.5 rupees. So for 200 shares, he has to pay brokerage of 300 rupees. 200 into 1.5, 300 rupees. So he invested 18,900 for the shares and rupees 300 for the brokerage. So his total investment was 19,200. Now after some time he sold shares of face value rupees 12,600 when the market rate was 104. So we have taken face value of one share as rupees 100 Now he sold shares of face value of rupees 12,600. So the number of shares will be 12,600 divided by 100, which is equal to 126. At the market rate of 104. So the market price of one share is 104. So he gets an income of 126 shares into 104. So he gets rupees 13,104. But here also he has to pay 1.5% brokerage. So again 1.5% is of 100 is 1.5 rupees. So for 126 shares he pays a brokerage of rupees 189. 126 into 1.5 is 189. So his net income here is he gets 13,104 after selling 126 shares for 104 rupees, and he has to pay brokerage, so we have to minus it. So 13,104 minus 189. So his net income at this transaction is 12,915 rupees. Now remaining shares he sells at 98. So the market price of one share here is 98. Total number of shares are 200. 126 he has already sold for 104 rupees. So the remaining number of shares are 74. So 74 shares he sells at rupees 98 per share. So he gets 7,252. Now again he has to pay 1.5% brokerage. So 74, number of shares here is 74. 74 into 1.5 is rupees 112. So he pays a brokerage of 112. So he gets 7,252 after selling 74 shares for at 98 rupees. But he has to pay a brokerage of 112 rupees. So we have to minus that. So he gets an income of 7,140. So his total income is 12,915 plus 7,140 minus his investment was 19,200. So you have to minus that. So minus 19,200. So he will get 855 as a profit. So his total gain is rupees 855. The amount realized by selling 8% shares at 160 of the face value of 6,400 was invested in 6% shares at 40. What would be the difference in annual income? So in this case, we have invested rupees 6,400. Suppose, let us take the face value of one share as rupees 100. So the total number of shares will be 6,400 divided by 100, that is equal to 64 shares. So we have 64 shares of 100 rupees and dividend is 8%. So let us calculate the dividend. 8% of 100 because the face value is 100. So we get rupees 8. For 64 shares it is 8 into 64. So we get rupees 512 as an annual income, or you can say it is a dividend. So this is in the first case. Now we sell these 64 shares which we have at rupees 160 per share in the market. So the market value of one share here is 160 and we get an income by sale after selling the 64 shares. We get 64 into 160, that is 10,240. So when we sell these 64 shares which we bought at rupees 100 for 160 rupees, we get income of 10,240. Now again this 10,240 rupees we invest in another shares of 6% shares at 40. So we invest this amount in the shares whose market price is 40 and the dividend paid is 6%. So we buy the number of shares here 10,240 divided by 40 because market price is 40. So we get 256 shares because its market price is 40 rupees. And the dividend paid here is 6%. So again, the dividend is always paid on the face value. So the face value of the shares is 100 rupees. So we get 6 rupees dividend. And the number of shares we have 256. So 6 into 256, you will get rupees 1536. So here, if we invest the same amount after selling it in the market from 160 rupees and investing in it in the this kind of shares, we get annual income of rupees 1536. So you can see the difference here. In the first case, when we invest 6,400 rupees, at this share, that is 8% share, we get an income of 512 rupees. When we sell these shares at a market price of 160 and again invest in these shares, we get an annual income of 1536. So the difference in annual income here is rupees 1024. So we get this difference of income here. So the annual income will increase by 1024 rupees. Two companies have shares of 13% at 122 and 17% at 150 respectively. In which of the shares would the investment be more profitable? So this has come in one of the exams and it is of the same kind which we have already solved. One or two problems we have already solved of this kind. So let us take company A and company B. So they have shares of 13% at 122 and 17% at 150. So in the first case, face value 100, market price 122, dividend is 13%, which is again rupees 13 for 100. And here the face value is 100, market price is 150, dividend so will be 17% will be rupees 17. Now we will calculate the percentage of profit per share. So 13 rupees for 122 rupees. So its percentage will be 10.6%. And here you get 17 rupees for 150. So its percentage will be 11.33. So in this case, the answer would be investment will be more profitable in company B with 17% at 150. Let us take one example on cumulative preference shares and equity shares. The capital of a company consists of 10 lakh 8% cumulative preference shares of rupees 10 each and 50 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. The company could not declare dividend on preference shares. In the third year, company decided to pay 12% dividend on equity shares. Find the total amount paid by the company by way of dividend. So, the capital of a company consists of 10 lakh 8% cumulative preference shares of 10 each. So the face value of each share is 10 rupees and the capital is 10 lakh. Capital is 10 lakh and 10 rupees is price of the each share. So number of preference shares here, number of cumulative preference shares here is equal to 10 lakh divided by 10 is equal to 1 lakh. So the company has 1 lakh preference share holders. The dividend paid for the preference shareholders, for the cumulative preference shareholders here is 8%. So 8% on the face value of a share. Face value of share is rupees 10. So 8% of 10 is 8 into 10 divided by 100, that is 0.8 rupees, 80 paisa. So the 1 lakh cumulative preference shareholders get 8% dividend. But the company could not declare dividend on preference shares for the first 2 years, and in the third year company decided to pay the dividend, which is 8%. So you know that the cumulative preference shareholders can claim the arrears of the previous dividend. So even if they don't get the dividend in certain year, they can claim it in the next year when the company decides to pay the dividend, and the company has to pay it, or in fact the company gives the preference to the cumulative preference shareholders first, pays the dividend, and then the remaining amount is divided to the preference shareholder, the equity shareholders. So here for the first year, the dividend to be paid was, for the 1 lakh shareholders, it was rupees 80,000, because 8% dividend, that is rupees 0.8 for the 1 lakh shares, so it comes to 80,000. So the total dividend to be paid for the 1 lakh cumulative preference shareholders is rupees 80,000. For the second year also it is 80,000. For the third year also it is 80,000. So when the company has to pay in the third year all the dividend to all the cumulative preference shareholders as well as the equity shareholders. So for the cumulative preference shareholders, it has to pay the dividend of all the 3 years, that is rupees 2,40,000, 80,000, 80,000 and 80,000. So 2,40,000. Now there are some equity shareholders in the company, and here you can see that there are 50 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. So a capital of 50 lakh is invested by the equity shareholders, and the face value of each of the share is rupees 10. So number of equity shares here are 50 lakhs divided by 10, which is equal to 5 lakhs. So there are 5 lakh equity shareholders, and they get a dividend of 12%. 12% dividend on equity shares. So they get a dividend of 12%. So 12% of, again face value is 10. So 12% of 10 is 12 into 10 divided by 100, that is rupees 1.2. And there are 50 lakh equity shares, 5 lakh equity shares. So 1.5 into 5 lakh is 6 lakhs. So the total dividend on equity shares is rupees 6 lakhs. So you have to understand here that the cumulative preference shareholders get a dividend for the previous years as well. So we have to consider for all the 3 years, and that adds up to 2,40,000. Whereas in case of equity shares, if the company could not pay the 12% dividend on previous years, then that doesn't get added. The company pays only for the current year, and which is equal to 6 lakh rupees. So total amount of 8,40,000 rupees is paid as a dividend to the shareholders by the company. Now let us take another kind of an example with regard to preference shares. The ordinary share capital of a company is thrice preference share capital. Preference shares carry 8% dividend. When distributable profit amounted to 22 lakh, equity holders received dividend at 12%. Find amount of each kind of capital. So the company has a capital of ordinary shares as well as preference shares, but the capital of ordinary shares is thrice the preference shares. So suppose the preference share capital is rupees X, then the ordinary capital share is thrice preference share capital. So let us take it as 3x. So if we assume preference share capital to be X, the ordinary shares capital will be 3x. Now the distributable profit is given as 22 lakhs. So distributable profit, we will take it as 22 lakhs. Now the preferential share dividend will be here it is given as preference shares carry 8% dividend. So 8% dividend we have to pay for the preference share capital holders. So the preference share capital is X. So 8x upon 100, 8%. So it is 8 upon 100 into X, or you can say 8x upon 100. So that is a dividend to be paid for the preference share shareholders. And the dividend to be paid for the equity shareholders will be, the dividend is paid at 12% profit. So it is 12% of the ordinary capital. So that is 3x upon 100. So it is 3x. So 12% of 3x will be 12 into 3x upon 100, or you can say 12 upon 100 into 3x. So that is 36x upon 100. So the total dividend to be paid is 8x upon 100 plus 36x upon 100, that is 44x upon 100, and that is equal to 22 lakhs. That is equal to 22 lakhs. So now you can find out the value of x here. So you get x as 50 lakhs and 3x as 1.5 crores. So the preferential capital here is 50 lakhs and the equity capital or ordinary share capital is 1.5 crores. Now let us take another different kind of an example. Ramesh purchased 400 shares of a company of rupees 10 at rupees 80 each through a broker. He paid 1.5% brokerage and 0.5% of market price towards transfer charges. Company declared a dividend of 25% and declared bonus in ratio 1:4. He sold all the shares at rupees 60 each. Find net gain and loss. Net gain or loss. So here, though it seems to be very complicated example, just go step by step. Now see here, market value is rupees 80. Ramesh purchased 400 shares of a company of rupees 10 at rupees 80 each. So the face value of the share is rupees 10. Market value is rupees 80. He purchased 400 shares. So number of shares is equal to 400. So he invested total amount of, he purchased them at rupees 80. So he invested total amount of 400 into 80, 32,000. He paid a brokerage of 1.5%. So 1.5% brokerage on the face value. Brokerage is always considered on the face value or to be paid on the face value. So the face value of each share here is rupees 10. So 1.5% of rupees 10. So it is 1.5 into 10 upon 100. And this brokerage he has to pay for 400 shares. So this, after calculation, you will get rupees 60. So he has to pay rupees 60 as a brokerage for 400 shares. Now he also paid 0.5% of market price towards transfer charges. So here the transfer charges he has to pay on the market price, 0.5% of market price. So 0.5 into 80, because market price is 80 upon 100. 0.5% of market price. So 0.5 into 80 upon 100 for all the 400 shares. So it is 160. So the total investment here is, he paid 32,000 for the shares. He paid 60 rupees as a brokerage and he paid 160 rupees as the transfer charges. So total amount of 32,220 he invested. Now company declares a dividend of 25% and declared bonus in ratio 1:4. So he gets a dividend of 25%. So dividend is 25%. So again dividend is paid always on the face value. So 10 into 25 upon 100 for 400 shares. So it is 1000 rupees. So this 25% dividend on the face value of 10 rupees. So it is 25 into 10 upon 100 on the 400 shares. So into 400 you will get 1000 rupees. The company also declared bonus in ratio 1:4. So the company also gives the bonus shares. So we have already studied the bonus shares. Bonus shares are the shares which are given as a free, you can say, to the customers. So he has 400 shares. The company decides to give 1:4. That is 1 share per 4 shares. So for the 400 shares, he gets 100 more shares as bonus shares. So now he has total of 500 shares. Now he sold all the shares at rupees 60 each. Now he sells them at rupees 60 each. So he had bought the 400 shares for rupees 80, but now he is selling all the shares. That is 400 shares which he bought and the 100 shares which he gets as the bonus shares. So 500 shares for rupees 60 each. So 500 into 60 is 30,000. So he gets an income of 30,000 by selling them in the market. So he is getting a dividend of 1000 and he is getting rupees 30,000 by selling the shares in the market. So he is getting total income of 31,000. Now here you can see that he had invested 32,220, but he gets the dividend 1000 and after selling the shares he get 31,000. So if you see the difference, he has a total loss of 1,220 rupees. Calculate average rate of return percent in investment. A. 300 shares of rupees 90 each paying 20% dividend. B. 500 shares of rupees 80 each paying 10% dividend. And C. 600 shares of rupees 100 each paying 15% dividend. So we have to calculate the average rate of return percent in the investment. So now let us first calculate the total investment. So total investment will be investment in A plus B plus C. So all the three investments we have to calculate first. So investment in A, 300 shares of rupees 90 each. So directly 300 into 90, 27,000. Investment in B, 500 shares of 80 each. So 500 into 80 rupees, 40,000 rupees. Investment in C, 600 shares of rupees 100 each. So 600 into 100, 6,000 rupees. So total investment in A, B, C together is 1,27,000. Now we will calculate the dividend from each one of the investments. So dividend from A is 20% dividend in the first case. So 20% of on the 300 shares. So it is 20 into 300 is 6,000. Dividend from B is 10%. So 10%, 10 into 500 is 5,000. Here we are considering the face value in A, B and C in all the cases as rupees 100. So 10% will be rupees 10. Again 15% dividend in the investment C. So 15% of 600. So it is 15 into 600, 9,000 rupees. So dividend from the third investment is rupees 9,000. So the total dividend in all the three cases is 6,000 plus 5,000 plus 9,000. You will get 20,000 as the total dividend. So the total investment is 1,27,000 and the dividend paid is 20,000. So the average rate of return is 20,000 divided by 1,27,000 into 100. That is 15.7%. Subhash purchased 900 shares of a company at par. Face value is equal to 100 rupees. Company issues right shares at a premium of rupees 5 in ratio 4:5. How many right shares did he get? If the company declared 25% of dividend next year, what was his dividend income? So here there are two important terms. At par, we have already seen what is at par. At par is when the face value and the market value is same. So face value is rupees 100. So here market value is also rupees 100. And right shares is nothing but the bonus shares. So right shares is nothing but bonus shares. So let us calculate now. Number of shares is 900 shares. Face value is 100 rupees. And the right share percentage is 4:5. That is, for every 5 shares he gets 4 more shares for rupees 5. So total right shares is equal to 900 into 4 by 5, that is 720 shares. So he gets 720 shares issued more for the 900 shares at rupees 5. So he gets a dividend of 25. So 25% is the dividend. So 25% on the total number of shares. So that is 40,500, because 25% is rupees 25, because the face value is 100. So directly 25 into total number of shares, that will give you 40,500 as the dividend. Let us take one more problem on the preference shares and equity shares. The company capital consists of 6 lakh 10% preference shares and 24 lakh equity shares. What percent dividend can be declared out of total net profit of 3 lakh? So preference capital is 6 lakh, equity shares capital is 24 lakhs. Let the face value of the preference shares be P per share, and let the face value of the equity shares be P per share, because the face value is same for the preference and capital equity shares. So let us take it as P. Total number of preference shares is equal to, because the capital is 6 lakh divided by the face value of 1 share. So this is the total number of preference shares. And total number of equity shares is 24 lakh divided by P, that is face value per share. So this is the total number of preference shares and this is the total number of equity shares. Now 10% dividend is paid for the preference shares, and we have to find out the percent dividend paid for the equity shares. So here 10% dividend is paid for the preference shares, which is, so here the net total profit is also given as 3 lakh, 10% on the preference shares. So it is, for 1 share it is 10 into 100, 10 upon 100 into P. For 1 share the profit is, or dividend is 10 upon 100 into P for the total number of preference shares. It will be 6 lakh upon P. This is the total preference shares. So the number of shares into the profit or the dividend for the preference shares, plus let Y be the dividend percent for equity shares. Then for 1 share it will be Y upon 100 into P. So it is, and for the total number of equity shares, that is 24 lakh upon P is the total number of equity shares into the profit for 1 share. So you will, and this together is 3 lakh. So it is 3 lakh. So after calculation you will get this is equal to 3 lakh minus 60,000. So here PP gets cancelled, and if you solve this you will get 60,000. So 3 lakh minus 60,000. So you will get 2 lakh 40,000. So Y is equal to 2 lakh 40,000, and after cancel you will cancel PP here, and you will get 24,000. So y is equal to 2,40,000 divided by 24,000 is equal to 10. So y be the dividend percent for equity shares. So this is the dividend percent for the equity shares, that is 10%. So 10% dividend can be declared for the equity shares.